If Monkey D. Luffy had awakened the Sun God Nika powers immediately upon eating the Gomu Gomu no Mi in episode 4, the course of the story in One Piece would be drastically different. First, we have to understand how Luffy awakened his devil fruit in episode 4. In episode 1072, we learned that when Luffy was killed by Kaido, his body got what it needed to awaken the Sun God Nika form. Gear 5's heartbeat seems to activate the form, and since Luffy had never died before, his heart never stopped beating, making this a sort of reboot. Now imagine Luffy awakening his powers in episode 4 as a young boy. When he was thrown into the sea and the local Sea King appeared to eat him, Shanks intervened. But what if the Sea King not only bit off Shanks' arm, but also killed Luffy? As the Sea King's sharp teeth killed Luffy, his heartbeat stopped and the Sun God Nika powers awakened. This marked the beginning of Luffy's new journey with incredible powers. Now we understand how he got the incredible Sun God Nika powers in the very beginning of the story. But how he learned to use his powers? There was no big change at all. Just like the original story, Vice Admiral Garp trained Luffy rigorously. This training involved intense physical conditioning and combat practice, which helped Luffy master his basic rubber body abilities. He can't even learn how to use Haki, or can't even do something like Gear 2. He just learned some fighting moves like Gum Pistol, or Gatling Punch, Gum Ballon. That type of moves, but the Nika powers makes the normal moves 10 times powerful. This training allowed Luffy to integrate his Sun God Nika powers into his fighting style, maintaining balance and control over his enhanced abilities. As a result, he became a formidable fighter, prepared for the challenges he would face on his journey. Please guys, make sure to subscribe our channel for completing our 1,000 subscribers. Keep watching. So if we talk about challenges, this is going to be definitely great. As Luffy sailed over the East Blue, he faced so many opponents. The East Blue have 6 arcs that are Romance Dawn Arc, Orangetown Arc, Syrup Village Arc, Barati Arc, Arlong Park Arc, Loketown Arc. There are no opponents in these places that can defeat Luffy, except for one smoker. The White Hunter is a marine captain he ate. The Moku no Mi is a Logia-type devil fruit that allows the user to create, control, and transform into smoke at will, making the user a smoke. In that time, Luffy have Sun God Nika powers, but he can't beat Smoke because of his Logia devil fruit powers. Luffy wasn't learned how to use Haki at that time, so every Logia Devil Fruit user will stronger than Luffy, like the original story. So we have to skip some opponents that are very easy to beat by Luffy at the moment. Now Straw Hat's Pirates and Arabasta arc. There was a strong opponent, is Sir Crocodile. He's also a Logia user, and Crocodile almost killed Luffy in 110th episode of the One Piece anime. But later, Luffy fought Crocodile, and he beat him pretty easily with using water. Now move out to more stronger opponent. Entering the Grand Line, Luffy's journey would take a more direct path to greatness. His ability to harness the powers of Sun God Nika would make him a formidable opponent against the likes of Enel and CP9. When Luffy encountered Enel on Skypiea, his rubber powers already made him immune to Enel's lightning attacks. With his Sun God Nika abilities, Luffy would be even more resilient and powerful. He could use his enhanced strength and agility to quickly close the gap and defeat Enel, ensuring the safety of Skypiea and gaining the admiration of its people. The real challenge would come when Luffy faced CP9 at Enies Lobby. The agents of CP9 were exceptionally skilled, and Luffy's battle with Rob Lucci would be particularly intense. With his Nika powers, Luffy could push his physical limits further, enhancing his punches and kicks with incredible speed and power. Rob Lucci, using his Rokushiki techniques, would still pose a significant threat. However, Luffy's Nika-enhanced abilities would allow him to match Lucci's strength and agility. The fight would be a brutal clash, with Luffy utilizing his creativity and newfound powers to counter Lucci's attacks. Throughout the battle, Luffy would demonstrate his growth, not just in strength, but also in strategy. His ability to combine his Gomu Gomu no Mi techniques with the power of Sun God Nika would give him the edge needed to ultimately defeat Lucci and rescue Robin, solidifying his reputation as a force to be reckoned with in the Grand Line. This victory would mark a significant turning point in Luffy's journey, proving that he could overcome even the most formidable opponents with his Sun God Nika powers. When Luffy punched a celestial dragon at the Sabaody Archipelago, Admirals Kizaru and Aokaji were dispatched to capture the Straw Hats. A fierce battle ensued, but the Admiral's overwhelming power left the crew in a dire situation. Just in time, Bartholomew Kuma intervened and used his abilities to send the Straw Hats flying to different locations, ensuring their survival. Luffy landed on Amazon Lily, where he met Boa Hancock. Hancock, smitten with Luffy and sympathetic to his cause, agreed to help him rescue his brother, Ace, from Impel Down. Despite their best efforts, they couldn't save Ace or defeat Magellan, the prison's warden. Without Haki, Luffy's Sun God Nika powers were not enough to overcome the powerful poison. Luffy lost against Magellan. After the intense and chaotic events in Impel Down, Luffy made his way to Marineford, determined to save Ace. His Sun God Nika powers were formidable, but without Haki, he struggled against the powerful Marines. The battle at Marineford was filled with drama and desperate fights, setting the stage for Luffy's continued growth and the epic adventures that lay ahead. As Luffy freed Ace, Admiral Akainu attacked. Recognizing Luffy's importance, Whitebeard intervened, fighting Akainu to protect them. Despite his bravery, Whitebeard, weakened by age and battle, fell in the fight. Whitebeard's selfless act cleared the way for Ace and Luffy's escape, but cost him his life. His legacy of strength and courage inspired all who witnessed it, even in his final moments. With Whitebeard's sacrifice, Ace and Luffy fled Marineford, determined to honor his memory and continue their journey. Though Whitebeard was gone, his spirit lived on in the hearts of those he inspired. The conclusion of the Marineford War. As you know, Akainu tried to kill Luffy, and Ace take that punch on his back. But in that scenario, Ace was very amazed of how powerful Luffy become now. So Ace let Luffy fight with Akainu and didn't interfere in his fight too much. Yeah, I know Luffy not has Haki at that time, but think about it. In the original story, when Luffy fought Kaido, he takes so many overpower attacks from Kaido, and we can clearly see Sun God Nika powers make Luffy's body so much stronger. So without Haki, Luffy can take 2-3 punch of Akainu easily. After all, his body become too strong, but if Whitebeard didn't showed up her, definitely one of them will killed by Akainu. So in Marineford, Luffy saved Ace and both escaped safely, but Whitebeard sacrificed himself to protect them. After the intense battle at Marineford, Luffy and Ace escaped to Amazon Lily. Ace rejoined the Whitebeard pirates, taking up the mantle of 1st Division Commander, while Marco became the new captain. Meanwhile, Luffy stayed on Amazon Lily, where he began his Haki training. Under the guidance of Dark King Rayleigh, Luffy dedicated himself to mastering this new power. With each passing day, his skills grew stronger, preparing him for the many challenges ahead. After a 2-year time skip, Luffy emerged stronger than ever, having mastered Haki. With Conqueror's Haki, Armament Haki, and Observation Haki, along with his Sun God Nika powers, Luffy became a force to be reckoned with. His incredible growth allowed him to take on powerful foes without needing to use his gear transformations. Upon entering Fishman Island, Luffy's newfound strength made short work of Hody Jones and his crew. His Haki and Nika powers allowed him to effortlessly defeat enemies who once posed significant threats. The Straw Hats quickly restored peace to the island, earning the gratitude of its inhabitants. On Punk Hazard, Luffy faced off against Caesar Clown. With his advanced Haki and Nika powers, Luffy easily overpowered Caesar's gas-based abilities. The battle was swift and decisive, showcasing just how powerful Luffy had become. In Dressrosa, Luffy confronted the warlord Doflamingo. Without needing to rely on gear transformations, Luffy's combination of Haki and Nika powers proved overwhelming. Doflamingo's strings were no match for Luffy's strength and speed. The fight ended with Luffy defeating Doflamingo, liberating Dressrosa from his tyrannical rule. And we have to consider one of the strongest opponent of Luffy, Katakuri. You know, Luffy almost beat up by Katakuri for his incredible observation Haki. But from now on, Luffy has the power of Sun God Nika. That fight will be a watchable fight in One Piece. Luffy's journey brought him and his crew to the Land of Wano, a place shrouded in mystery and danger. During episodes 913 to 915 of the Wano Country arc, Luffy's path crossed with Kaido, the king of the beasts. This was their first encounter, and it happened under dramatic circumstances. Kaido, in his drunken stupor, flew over a town in his dragon form. The sight of the massive, menacing dragon terrified the townspeople and put Luffy and his friends on high alert. Luffy, now armed with the power of Sun God Nika, faced Kaido with newfound strength and determination. As Kaido wreaked havoc, Luffy's anger boiled over. He remembered the pain and suffering Kaido had inflicted on countless innocents, including his crew. The destruction and chaos before him fueled his rage, and he resolved to take down the tyrant once and for all. Luffy launched himself at Kaido, his fists imbued with the power of Sun God Nika and his Haki. The clash between the two titans shook the very ground they stood on. Luffy's blows were swift and powerful, each one driven by his fury and the desire to protect his friends and the people of Wano. Kaido, despite his immense power, found himself struggling against Luffy's relentless assault. The Sun God Nika's abilities, combined with Luffy's mastery of Haki, proved to be a formidable combination. The dragon scales, tough as they were, could not fully withstand the might of Luffy's attacks. Throughout the battle, Luffy's anger and determination were palpable. He saw Kaido not just as a powerful enemy, but as a symbol of oppression and cruelty. With each strike, Luffy pushed himself harder, refusing to let Kaido's tyranny go unchallenged. In this intense encounter, Luffy's strength and resolve shone brightly. His mastery of the Sun God Nika powers allowed him to match and even surpass Kaido's might. It was clear that Luffy had grown into a true force of nature, ready to take on the world's greatest challenges. In conclusion, Luffy awakened the power of Sun God Nika early in his journey, facing many enemies but struggling without Haki. In the Marineford War, he saved Ace from 3 admirals and then trained on Amazon Lily. After a 2-year time skip, Luffy became as strong as Gear 5, mastering Haki. He easily defeated his next opponents, treating them like insects. If you enjoyed watching that What If video, then don't forget to subscribe Straw Hats No Kib for more adventures. Comment you valuable thoughts and comment, like the video, or keep sailing.